The treasure has been buried for centuries beneath Oak Island, and now Rick and Marty claim to have finally found 150 million worth of Templar gold. But the question, is this really the legendary treasure that has been written about in history books? Or is this the beginning of a bigger mystery? The story gets more interesting here. Overnight security increases, sudden government intervention, and media silence. There is something that is being hidden from the whole world. According to Rick's team, it may not just be gold and silver, but it may contain artifacts that are linked to the Church and the Vatican. The Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or a secret symbol of the Knights Templar. No one knows for sure. The most surprising thing is that during the excavation, the cameras turned off several times, the recordings disappeared, and even some of the team's statements were edited. Is the truth being hidden? Will this treasure only change history, or will it make the whole world focus on Oak Island? So friends, get ready, because this video is going to give you a glimpse of the same treasure that was shrouded in mystery for centuries. Have Rick and Marty finally discovered the Templar gold hoard worth 150 million? Or is this the beginning of some other big conspiracy? The suspense is deepening. If you don't want to miss the next explosive revelations of Oak Island, then subscribe to the channel now, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Friends, on hearing the name Oak Island, the first thing that comes to mind is the image of treasure and mysteries. This small island, which is in Nova Scotia, Canada, has remained a puzzle for the whole world for the last 200 years. People say that there is a treasure hidden beneath it, in search of which many explorers have lost their lives. The story begins in the late 1700s. Three boys, Daniel McGinnis and his two friends, while roaming around Oak Island, see a strange depression, as if the ground has been dug up and covered again. They get suspicious and start digging. At a depth of a few feet, they find layers of wood, then more such layers at a greater depth. This place was later called Money Pit, and this is where the biggest mystery of Oak Island began. The story of Money Pit is like a thriller in itself. The deeper people dig, the more new layers, stones, and symbols appear. But the most surprising thing was, every time the digging reached a certain depth, water would suddenly fill inside and the digging would stop, as if someone had deliberately laid such traps so that no one could reach the real treasure. Time passed, different companies and explorers dug here, but failed every time. And gradually the story of a curse spread around Oak Island. It was said that the real treasure would not be revealed until 7 people lose their lives in this search. So far, 6 people have died, and the world is still waiting for the 7th one. Now just think, if so many people could not reach the real treasure, despite spending so much money and machines for more than 200 years, then there must be some secret in it which someone is hiding. This is where the story connects to Knights Templar, a name that gives a feeling of both mystery and thrill as soon as you hear it. The Knights Templar were actually a military and religious order, which was formed in the 12th century. Initially, their purpose was to protect Christian pilgrims. But gradually they became so powerful that they became the richest and organized society in Europe. They had everything from a banking system to secret treasures. But suddenly in 1307, the King of France opened a front against them. Templar leaders were captured, false charges were made against them, and many were killed. But it is said that the real treasure, gold, silver, and religious artifacts, disappeared. No one knew where it went. From here, many theories were formed. Some say that the Templar treasure went from France to Scotland. From there, it was hidden through sea routes. And the strongest theory is that this treasure was transported across the Atlantic to Oak Island. Now imagine many symbols and artifacts like crosses found on Oak Island were also found to be similar to Templar symbols. Is this just a coincidence? Or did the Knights Templar really hide their treasure here? Historians believe that if this is true, then under Oak Island, there may not only be gold and silver, but there may be such religious relics that can change the history of the world. Artifacts like Holy Grail, Ark of Covenant are also mentioned for this reason. And this is the reason why every new excavation, every new discovery on Oak Island attracts the attention of the whole world. Friends, the background of Oak Island and the legend of Templar gold together create a story that is not just a search for treasure, but also a combination of human curiosity, the mysteries of history, and a mysterious curse. This is the reason why even today explorers like Rick and Marty are engaged in solving this mystery. Because if the truth comes out, it will change the history of not just Oak Island, but the entire world. When Rick and Marty's team started digging on Oak Island, for many years only theories and rumors were heard, but this time the matter was different. This time they had modern technology, sonar, 3D mapping, and powerful water pumping systems. Earlier, explorers had wooden stairs and ropes, but now science and machines cooperated. Rick himself says that when he saw the sonar images, it seemed as if a big chamber was hidden under the ground. It was clearly visible in the pictures that there were some metallic objects at a depth whose density was completely different from soil and stone. Marty immediately made a plan that they would have to reach that place by extracting water. The team installed giant pumps, ran powerful drills, and slowly started digging the ground. This was not an easy task because the soil and water of Oak Island were repeatedly blocking the way. But this time, technology was not ready to give up. After hours of hard work, a moment came that surprised everyone. The cameras were rolling, the workers were handling their tools, and suddenly a faint glow was seen in the soil from the bucket of the drill machine. Initially, it seemed that it might be a stone, but when the light fell on it, it became clear that it was the glow of gold. At that moment, the entire crew was electrified. Rick and Marty took that soil in their hands and saw there was a small gold fragment inside. That moment was like a secret hidden for 200 years had shown its face for the first time. That tiny gold particle confirmed that there is not just a rumor, but a real treasure hidden under Oak Island. But the story does not end here. The real twist came when the excavation reached deeper. During the excavation, many such artifacts were found which were not common. First of all, old coins were found, some from the 16th and 17th century, on which such designs were made that were similar to those of Europe. Then the team found a stone slab, on which strange symbols were engraved. When experts compared them later, they found that many of these symbols resembled the symbols of the Knights Templar. And then an iron cross was found, rusted, broken, but its structure was like a Templar cross. This discovery was the most talked about because it was considered the most solid proof of connecting Oak Island to the Templar legend. Recalling that moment, Rick said, "When I picked up that cross in my hand, it felt as if we were touching a very big secret." The artifacts did not stop here. Wooden structures were also found in the excavation, which were so old that archaeologists were surprised to see them. Carbon dating revealed that these structures belonged to the era when permanent European settlements had not even started properly in North America. This means there was someone who came here a long time ago, built secret chambers, and hid the treasure and went away. The initial reports of experts also make this entire discovery more mysterious. They say the gold fragments are authentic, the coins are real medieval European, and the design of the cross matches the Templar era. Although full confirmation has not been given yet, these findings are so strong that they have given a new twist to the whole story of Oak Island. Now imagine if such big clues were revealed with just a little digging. What else could be hidden deep down? Is the entire $150 million treasure chamber there? Could there be an artifact like the Holy Grail? Or is all this just the first piece of the puzzle? This scene of discovery of Oak Island and the artifacts found are not just an archaeological find, but the beginning of unlocking a centuries-old mystery that has captivated the whole world. Rick and Marty's team have proven that Oak Island is not just a myth, but a real place where the biggest secrets of history are buried. As the excavations on Oak Island progressed, things started getting even more strange. Initially, it seemed like just an exploration project, but when the real artifacts and the glitter of gold were seen, the whole atmosphere suddenly changed. The first thing people noticed was that the security at the excavation site was suddenly tightened. Where earlier only a few workers and a camera crew were seen, now there were armed guards standing there. The entire area was declared a restricted zone, and outsiders were not even allowed to come near. Rick and Marty were leading the excavation themselves, but surveillance on their team was also increased so much that many workers later said, "We felt as if we were part of a secret military operation." And then came the biggest twist. Some officials associated with the Vatican came to Oak Island. And why would the Vatican normally be interested in a mining site? But here the matter was different. Many rumors started spreading that the Vatican suspected that under Oak Island there was not just gold and silver, but religious artifacts that were directly related to the history of Christianity. If things like the Holy Grail or the Ark of Covenant are really found here, then this could be the biggest religious discovery for the whole world. But the question also arises, if all this is true, will the Vatican share it with the world? Or will it take control and hide it? Because it also came to light in media reports that many updates received from the excavation site suddenly started disappearing. Now let's talk about those suspicious incidents, due to which the mystery of Oak Island deepened. During the excavation, it happened many times that the cameras suddenly stopped working. The production team said that these were technical glitches, but the workers say that all this was not natural, especially the moment when the first glimpse of gold was seen. At that time, the camera feed went black for a few seconds. Not only this, later some footage was edited and shown. People compared on social media and found that some scenes of excavation were missing in the broadcast. Fans raised the question, are the real discoveries being hidden? The most shocking thing was that Rick and Marty's team also kept complete silence on these questions. When the media asked them what the Vatican officials were doing during the excavation, they simply said, "We cannot say anything about this." Now imagine such a big discovery, suddenly increased security, Vatican being involved, cameras being switched off, and the team keeping silence. Is all this a coincidence? Or is there really something that is being hidden from the world? Oak Island has always been a mysterious place, but this time the matter seems even deeper. It seems that the search for treasure is no longer just an adventure, but has become a part of a global conspiracy. As the excavation of Oak Island deepens, theories and speculations also grow. The question is not just whether there is treasure there or not. The real question is what is hidden there. Some people say that all this is just gold and silver. In the olden times, pirates and explorers used to choose such secret places to hide their treasure. Oak Island may have been one such place. The coins and gold fragments found support this theory. But on the other hand, a large group believes that not only gold, but religious artifacts are hidden here. The crosses and symbols found during the excavation have deepened this suspicion. It is said that the Knights Templar had hidden their most precious treasure, the Holy Grail, that is, the cup from which Jesus drank wine for the last time, and perhaps relics like the Ark of Covenant somewhere safely. And Oak Island was the perfect place for this mission, because it was isolated and it was easy to make secret tunnels here. Now imagine if the Holy Grail or the Ark of Covenant is really found here, then it will not only impact history, but the faith and belief systems of the entire world. Perhaps this is the reason why Vatican officials themselves are showing interest in this excavation. But there is also a third theory. Some people consider it to be pure media hype. They say that things are being exaggerated to make the curse of Oak Island show dramatic. The artifacts may be genuine, but their story has been made so mysterious that people remain glued. After all, suspense is the biggest strength of this show. Now, if we talk about the reactions of the team, then different colors were seen there too. For Rick Lagina, this journey is not just a search for treasure, but an emotional journey. When he saw a glimpse of gold and found a cross during the excavation, there were tears in his eyes. He had said, "This moment is not just a discovery for me, but the biggest dream of my life, which seems to be coming true." Rick has always believed that Oak Island really has a treasure hidden in it that will change history. On the other hand, Marty Ladina has a practical mindset. For him, this project is a mix of investment and exploration. He has said many times that until concrete proof is found, it is not right to consider anything as a final result. This thinking of Marty gives balance to the team, because Rick's emotional angle and Marty's business-oriented vision together take the excavation forward. The statements of workers and locals are no less interesting. People living near the excavation site say that the activity there increases overnight. Some workers claim that they have seen such artifacts which were never shown in the media. And in the locals, rumors are flying that a very big secret is really hidden on Oak Island, which will probably be hidden from the world. So friends, theories and speculations have deepened the mystery of Oak Island. Whether it's just gold, religious relics, or a media gamble, one thing is for sure. The excavation at Oak Island is no longer just a search, but a topic of curiosity for the entire world. Friends, the excavation of Oak Island is as dangerous as it sounds. This place is not like any ordinary construction site. The biggest challenge here is the tunnels filled with water. Whenever the excavation reaches a little depth, water suddenly fills inside. It seems as if someone has made such traps centuries ago that it is not easy to reach the treasure. Despite pumps and modern technology, this water repeatedly blocks the way. Apart from this, there is always a danger of cave-ins, i.e., land sinking. Many times while digging, the soil suddenly slips and the workers have to leave the site immediately. These accidents happen so suddenly that life is in danger. Perhaps this is the reason why Oak Island has always been called a dangerous site. And now comes the matter of the most frightening thing, which people call the curse of Oak Island. For centuries, it has been believed that the real treasure will not be revealed until 7 people die. So far, 6 people have lost their lives in search of this mystery. Every time the excavation reaches a risky point, people start talking about the curse again. Even the workers are afraid that they might become the 7th person. Rick and Marty motivate their team again and again, but the truth is that safety remains a big concern. On one hand, there is the passion to find the treasure, and on the other hand, there is the fear of life. This balance makes the story of Oak Island even more exciting. Now just imagine the impact of this discovery on the world. As the excavation of Oak Island progresses, global media coverage is also increasing. Oak Island is trending everywhere, from international news channels to social media. People make theories, experts debate, and fans wait impatiently to know every new update. The interest of collectors and historians is also amazing. If a treasure worth $150 or a rare artifact is really found, then its value will not only be in money, but also in historical and religious importance. Private collectors are ready to spend billions on such artifacts. Governments would also like to take control of it so that they can set the narrative of the discovery before the world. The most interesting angle is the involvement of the Vatican and big powers. If something like the Holy Grail or the Ark of Covenant is found on Oak Island, it can change the direction of not just Christianity, but the entire human history. Imagine a relic can shake the faith systems of the entire world. Perhaps this is the reason why so many eyes are fixed on this excavation. So friends, on one hand, the excavation of Oak Island is full of thrill and hope. On the other hand, it is surrounded by dangers and conspiracies. The risks are so great that an accident can happen at any time. But if the discovery turns out to be true, its impact will be so deep that history books will have to be rewritten. The deeper the excavation of Oak Island, the bigger the questions are being raised. The first and most important question is, why was the treasure found now? For more than 200 years, countless explorers kept digging here. Machines were installed, money was spent, but the treasure was not found. And now suddenly, Rick and Marty's team find things like a glimpse of gold, coins, and a cross. Is this just a coincidence? Or was an invisible hand waiting for the right time? The second big question, is this the entire treasure or just a part? A small fragment of gold and some coins have been found, but the name of the 150-meter treasure will be proved correct only when the real chamber is opened. Many experts believe that there are multiple layers and chambers beneath Oak Island, and what has been found is just the beginning. The real treasure is probably buried deeper still. The third, and perhaps the most exciting question, how deep can the secrets be hidden? If so many artifacts were found in just one small excavation, then what can be there 200 feet, 100 feet and 300 feet below? Is there a whole underground vault? Or has the Templar hidden the treasure in multiple places so that no one can reach it easily? These questions are still unanswered, and this suspense keeps the mystery of Oak Island alive. Now let's talk about the team's future plans. Rick and Marty know that this journey is not easy. Water-filled tunnels, cave-ins, and stories of curse block their path. But they have not learned to give up. They plan to install even more advanced machines for excavation next time. High-power pumps, laser mapping technology, and underground scanners. This time they will not just dig, but will scan every inch scientifically. But there is another big challenge here: tension with the government. As discoveries are increasing, the governing government's control is also becoming stricter. Excavation may become more difficult due to new permits, security protocols, and restricted access rules. Sometimes it seems that the government itself wants that some things should not come out in front of the world. This is the reason why Rick and Marty are afraid that excavation may be suddenly stopped. Still, the team is fully prepared. They believe that the real truth of Oak Island cannot remain hidden for long. Whether there are talks of curse or political hurdles in the way, eventually the treasure will be revealed, and that day will change the history of the world. So friends, even though there are many unanswered questions, future plans clearly show that the story of Oak Island is not over yet. The real chapter is about to begin now. Friends, the biggest moment of this entire journey to Oak Island came when Rick stood in front of the camera and said that magical line, "This is just the beginning." There was a sparkle in his eyes and a deep seriousness on his face. It was clearly felt that Rick knew that the real treasure has not been fully found yet. What has been found is just the trailer. The whole movie is yet to come. Marty also said at that time, "We have only touched the surface so far. The real secrets are hidden deep down." And this is the truth. Small coins, glimpses of gold, and artifacts like cross have been found, but the real vault of the 150M Templar gold hoard, it is still buried in mystery. Just think, if despite so much hard work and technology, only clues have been found so far, then how big a truth can be revealed in further excavation? Is an artifact like the Holy Grail really hidden under Oak Island? Is the Ark of Covenant buried there? Or is this all a part of a big conspiracy, where an attempt is being made to hide the truth? This list of questions does not end here. The real revelation is yet to happen, and this suspense makes Oak Island the biggest mystery in the world. And now, friends, it's time to ask you a question. Do you think that Rick and Marty have really discovered 150M Templar gold? Or is all this a part of some hidden conspiracy? If you don't want to miss the next explosive chapter of this story of Oak Island, then subscribe to the channel right now and press the bell icon, because in the next video we will show you that secret, which may shake the thinking of the whole world.